Alright, no long intros. You know the vibe. Big short club. Got my man Morgan in the building.
Safe, Chris. Let's get into it.
Today, we're digging up a relic, a proper classic. The one that every trading guru and their nan tells you to read. Market Wizards, by this geezer, Jack Schwager.
Ah, yeah, the Holy Scripture, written back in '89, innit? Back when traders were still, sniffing glue and shouting at each other in a pit.
Yeah?
Proper dinosaurs.
Haha, exactly. Men are out here trading crypto on a bus with their iPhone.
Right.
And these duns were drawing charts with a protractor and a landline. But look, the book's got a rep for a reason. So for the man them who've been avoiding it, what's the actual deal? Is it some secret formula?
Nah, not even close. And that's the first trap. If you're looking for a buy here, sell there playbook, this ain't it, fam. It's basically this Schwager bloke,
Okay,
who was a trader himself, not just some journalist.
that's a key point still. He knows the game.
Yeah,
He's not just asking dumb questions.
facts. So he goes around and gets these deep dive interviews with the top dogs of the time, the absolute ballers. We're talking Paul Tudor Jones, Bruce Kovner, Ed Sikoa,
Wow.
guys who turned like 30 grand into 80 million. Real money.
So it's just a book of interviews. Sounds a bit dry,
Right.
like a school textbook.
You think so, but it's raw. It's not all rah, look how great I am. He gets him to talk about where they messed up. Big time, the catastrophic losses. Losses blowing up accounts early in their careers. It's less about finding a magic setup and more about, understanding how their brains are wired, the psychology of it all.
Right, the mindset. Because that's the real source, innit? I know bare people with a sick strategy they bought off some YouTuber
Yeah,
and they still get consistently rinsed.
100%. And that's the main revelation of the book. It basically proves there is no right way to trade.
Okay.
It kills that whole idea. You got one geezer, William O'Neill, with his mad CAN-SLIM acronym.
Haha, hold up. Can Slim. Sounds like a dodgy diet plan you see on a late night ad.
Yeah.
What's that even mean?
It's like C for current earnings, A for annual earnings, a whole checklist for picking stocks.
Right.
Proper nerdy, formulaic stuff. But then you got another Don in the same book who's like, nah, I just look at the charts, get a vibe, and if it feels right, I whack on a massive position.
And they're both printing money.
Both printing, and that's the point. One's a scientist, the other's an artist. It tells you that you gotta find a style that fits your personality.
Yeah.
Stop jumping from one strategy to another every time you take a loss.
So what's the common thread then? There must be something they all do. They can't all be that different.
Two things, bro. And it's the simple, boring stuff no one wants to hear. First, every single one of them is obsessed with risk.
Right.
Not making money, but not losing it. Paul Tudor Jones, the absolute legend, he's got this quote, "The most important rule in trading is to play great defense, not great offense."
See, that's it. Everyone on Insta is flexing their 100x wins.
Yeah.
No one's flexing the boring trades they cut for a tiny loss before it blew up their whole account. That's the real skill.
That's the discipline. He also dropped this gem, losers average losers. Simple. If your trade is going down the toilet, don't throw more money in after it, you melt. Get out. But that's what every noob does, innit?
Yeah. It's just a dip. Buy the dip. Famous last words. Alright, so risk management is number one.
Yeah.
What's the other common denominator?
The mindset, pure, ruthless, emotional control. There's this one trader, Ed Sikoa, proper weird dude, but a certified genius. He says, and listen to this,
Okay.
everybody gets what they want out of the market.
Hold on, unpack that. That sounds a bit law of attraction for me.
Yeah.
A bit too much incense and sandals.
Nah, it's deeper. He means if you're secretly trading for the excitement, the drama, the gamble, the market will give you that. You'll get your adrenaline rush, but you'll lose your money. If you genuinely want to make consistent profit, you have to act like a cold, calculating professional, not a punter in a betting shop. It's about being brutally honest with yourself about why you're trading.
Mad. So the market is just a mirror,
Right.
reflecting your own baggage and your own discipline or lack of it right back at you. That's heavy.
It is, isn't it? And these old-timers figured it out without a single self-help podcast or therapy session. They were just ruthless with their self-analysis. No ego. Here's another one from Tudor Jones.
Go on.
Don't be a hero. Don't have an ego. The second you feel that you are very good, you are dead.
That's so true. How many times have you had a massive winning streak, felt like the king of the world,
Hmm.
and then given it all back on one stupid, arrogant trade?
Everyone's done it. It's a rite of passage. You get humbled. These guys just learned how to stop the ego from creeping back in. One of them, Marty Schwartz, said he'd literally reduce his position size after a big win,
Wow.
just to keep his ego in check. Who does that?
So let's bring it to today. Is this book, written in the age of mullets and brick-sized mobile phones, actually still relevant? The market's a different beast now. We got algos, high-frequency trading, and a million Twitter gurus chatting absolute nonsense 24/7.
Right.
We've got the tools, the noise is a million times louder, but the game is the same. Because it's driven by two things that never change: fear and greed. The principles are timeless. Cutting your losses is timeless. Having a plan and actually sticking to it is timeless. Not revenge trading after a loss is timeless.
Yeah,
That's human nature.
true say. The temptation to double down on a loser is the same whether you're screaming in a pit or swiping on an app.
So if you're a new trader just starting out,
Yeah?
is this the first book you should cop?
I'd say yeah, but you gotta read it the right way. Don't go in looking for a strategy to copy. Go in and look at their mindset. When you read about them cutting a trade, ask yourself, would I have had the discipline to do that?
Right.
It's more of a mirror than a map. It's a book that asks questions of you.
And what about Schwager himself, the author? He wrote the book, but was he a wizard? Or is he just the guy who got famous interviewing the real players? A bit cynical maybe, but you got to ask.
Yeah, it's a fair question. He was a trader, a director of research. He was definitely in the game. But let's be real, his biggest trade was writing this book. He's made his name by distilling the wisdom of others. But you can't knock the hustle. He found the wizards, he asked the right questions, and he put it all in one place. He's the curator of the museum.
Curator, I like that. He's the David Attenborough of traders.
Yeah,
He's observing the wild animals in their natural habitat.
exactly. And he's given us the footage to study.
So, final verdict. Is Market Wizards overhyped or does it deserve the props after all these years?
It deserves the props, but only if you get the real message. It's not about finding a magic indicator or a secret pattern. It's about the fact that your strategy is only like 10% of the game.
Right.
Your discipline, your patience, your ego, that's your real edge.
Word. Sort your head out first. That's the real alpha. Solid chat, my guy. Proper insightful.
Always, man.
Alright, big up everyone listening. We're out. But before we go, now, here's a question we'd like you to think about. The book shows there are many ways to win. If you had to be brutally honest with yourself, is the trading strategy you're using right now one you genuinely believe in, or is it just the one that's most popular on social media this week? Think on that.